Deputy Lieutenant, Member of Parliament, councillors, honoured and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Mayor of Rochdale, followed by the Deputy Mayor, Ms Rifat Rashid, Chief Executive, Mr Steve Rumbelow, along with the incoming Deputy Mayor, Councillor Ali Ahmed, Deputy Mayoress, Mrs Saida Fajan Begum, and the Consort Sultan Ali. Please be seated. Councillor Billy Sheerin will announce that the first business of Council is to welcome the election of Councillor Rashid as Mayor of the Borough of Rochdale for the ensuing municipal year.
So it's my duty to welcome the newly elected Mayor of Rochdale, Councillor Rashid, to ensure for the municipal year. Thank you.
Councillor Iftikhar Ahmed will now intimate the intention to formally welcome the election of Councillor Aasim Rashid.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, Member of Parliament for Rochdale, Mr. Tony Lloyd, Leader of the Council, Cabinet Members, Councillors, Chief Executive, Council staff, honoured and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and very welcome to our fabulous Middleton Arena. It gives me immense pleasure to formally welcome the election of Councillor Aasim Rashid as the Mayor of Rochdale for municipal year 2021 and 2022. I have known Councillor Aasim Rashid for many years, and I can say he is thoroughly deserving for this election. I can describe him a man with kind nature, approachable individual who takes great pride in helping others, often at the cost to himself and his family. Councillor Aasim Rashid is a passionate and dedicated community worker. He is a very strong campaigner for integration and even strong voice for equality, social justice, and multicultural rights. He is passionate to use his expertise for the betterment of Rochdale. He is a successful business entrepreneur who has a vision to see Rochdale thrive in the field of economic well-being. Councillor Aasim Rashid came to the UK at a young age as a student. After the completion of his education, he started his career in the field of business. After running successful business, he jumped into the field of politics. And he made his quick journey to reach the position of mayor today. And I am sure he would not mind me saying that he would be lost without his wife, Mrs. Rifat Rashid. I believe she is the main instrument in their marriage life, helping to look after Councillor Aasim, their 5 intelligent children, the family home, and various businesses. Mrs. Riffat's all-round talent allows Councillor Aasim Rashid to do political activities. Ladies and gentlemen, Councillor Aasim Rashid's appointment as a mayor is an unprecedented achievement. He achieved this position with the power of politics, his dedication, and with the power of democracy. On a serious note, though Councillor Aasim Rashid is exceptionally well connected, considerate, and hard-working councillor, I am confident that Borough is in for a fantastic year under his leadership. Colleagues, we will enjoy to have more peace and environment under his leadership. We have already missed a lot because of COVID and its complications. However, we cannot afford to miss any more. I hope that nothing can go wrong this year to deprive the Borough from enjoying Councillor Aasim Rashid's generosity and hospitality. I will finish by saying Councillor Aasim Rashid and his family all the best for the successful year ahead. Thank you very much.
Councillor Donna Williams will now second the election.
We talked to Mitch, it's short, he pretty much said everything that I was going to say about Aasim, so I'll speak a little bit about Aasim's life. So we have to keep it short and simple, so here goes. I would like to formally second the election of Councillor Aasim Rashid to become Mayor of the Borough of Rochdale, 2021-22. I've known Councillor Rashid for the past 6 years, and I know him to be a very hard-working member of the council. In my speech today, I would like to welcome you both, but welcome our new lady, Mayoress Rifat. Rifat Rashid was born and raised in Rochdale. She went to Bailey Park High School, where she then went on to obtain a bachelor's degree in business tourism studies from the University of Bolton. Rifat is a dedicated mother to 3 children and also has a passion for involving herself into the heart of the community. She has been able to juggle and balance her life as a mother and a director of a retail company, all while supporting Aasim. Rifat has a desire to work for local charities, as well as making it her mission to help the needy and the vulnerable. Rifat is a great advocate for women's rights and is keen to break down barriers in a multicultural society. So it is a great pleasure to see a young woman, born and bred in our beautiful town, represent the office of Mayor and the people of the Borough. I'm sure you will both have a very good year in office, and you will do Rochdale and Middleton very proud. Thank you.
The Mayor's attendant Nazam will now lead Councillor Rashid and the Chief Executive from the stage, escorted by Councillor Iftikhar Ahmed and Councillor Donna Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for his worship for the Mayor of the Borough of Rochdale, Councillor Aasim Rashid. Please be seated. Councillor Rashid will now make his declaration of office with our Chief Executive, Steve Rumbelow.
I, Aasim Rashid, having been elected to the office of the Mayor, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duty and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
The Mayor's attendant will now place the mayoral chain on Councillor Rashid. I am pleased to invite the Mayor's children, Ali and Umar, to read a blessing for the new Mayor and the people of the Borough of Rochdale, followed by the Mayor's chaplain, Reverend Anne Gilbert.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان والشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء ورفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأقمام والحب والعصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. Now for the English translation.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, the most merciful, taught the Quran, created man, and taught him eloquence. The sun and moon move by precise calculation, and the stars and trees prostrate, and the heaven he raised and imposed the balance, that you not transgress within the balance, and establish weight in justice, and do not make deficient the balance. And the earth he laid out for the creatures, therein is fruits and palm trees having sheaths of dates, and grain having husks and scented plants. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless my beloved father's upcoming mayoral year with much prosperity, success and happiness. Ameen.
Bless today our new Mayor, Aasim Rashid, and lead and guide his thoughts in the ways of truth, justice and peace. Remind him of the people he represents, the democracy he believes in, and the trust that has been placed in him. Bless every decision he makes that is founded in integrity and humility. Inspire him to work for the transformation of society for the good of our Rochdale Borough. Bless Rifit, our Mayoress, as she supports the Mayor this year. Bless the communities in Rochdale Borough. May their people and businesses flourish as we emerge out of this pandemic and the restrictions it has placed on us. Bless the charities that the Mayor will support this year and the work that they do for the good of others and the people they support. Bless us all and help us to come together, to rejoice in our diversity, to care for each other and to work together for the good of all. Amen.
Could I now welcome the Leader of the Council, Councillor Neil Emmett, to welcome Councillor Rashid as the new Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, my first duty as Leader of the Council, can I welcome everybody to Middleton. As a Middleton Councillor, I'd like to welcome you to our lovely Middleton Arena and to welcome you to our town of Middleton. For those of you who come from Rochdale, do recognise, of course, that we do go back much further in history than Rochdale. We were mentioned in the Doomsday Book, so Middleton's history goes back well over 1,000 years. But it gives me great pleasure to welcome the election of my friend, Councillor Aasim Rashid, to be the new Mayor of our borough. I've known Aasim now for probably about 7 or 8 years, and I know that he's always been extremely diligent in his work on the council and has been a very good and successful businessman. And I know that he'll be supported absolutely fantastically by Rifa, his wife. It's strange that we've actually had two Castleton councillors following each other as mayor. It reminds me that sometimes when you're waiting for a bus for a long time and one doesn't come along for a while and then two come together. So we've been waiting for a while for two Castleton councillors to be mayor, and then they suddenly come together. And certainly I know that Aasim will do a great job for the borough, as indeed Billy did for his 2 years as mayor. In fact, I think that now makes Castleton quite unique, because all 3 Castleton councillors have now served as mayor of the borough, because Councillor Hornby, I think, was mayor about 13, 14 years ago. So I think that's the first for one of the wards. But certainly, it really gives me great pleasure to welcome Councillor Rashid to be the mayor this year. I hope he won't be too hard on me during full council meetings. Obviously, it's going to be, sometimes it can be quite tumultuous in meetings, but I hope that he will smile down on me as I attempt to lead the council in the next year. So welcome, Aasim, and you'll do a fantastic job, I'm sure of it.
The newly elected Mayor of the Borough of Rochdale will now thank the Council and make his address.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Member of Parliament for Rochdale, Honourable Consul General of Pakistan in Manchester, Leader of the Council, respected elected members, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. It is my privilege and honor to represent Rochdale Borough Council as Mayor. It was my passion to serve the communities of Rochdale Borough. I'm thankful to my council colleagues who put their trust in me and gave me such high respect. I'm also grateful to the communities and residents of Rochdale Borough Council, especially the people of Castleton who elected me as councillor and gave me the chance to represent them. I'm also thankful to my parents who have always blessed and prayed for my success. My mother passed away in 2007. She would have been very proud today. My wife, Mayoress Rifat Rashid, she has always been my strength and encouraged me. My daughter, Aiza Rashid, she is a lucky charm for our family. I'm also grateful for my all well-wishers, my friends, and my 2 sons, Ali and Umar. I'm really missing my dad today. He should be here to attend the ceremony, but unfortunately due to COVID, he is unable to travel to Rochdale. For more than 12 months, we have been going through a very difficult time of COVID. We have lost a lot of loved ones, friends, and community members. We are now in a recovery period, and there has been a lot of financial burden for small organizations, especially local charities, which are working for those who really need help, support in a very difficult time of their life. I have already chosen 5 local charities to support through my mayoral campaign. These charities are Petrus, Spring Hill Hospice, Parkinson, Jolly Josh, and Shop Mobility. These charities are working for a noble cause for community. I'm sure with the help of my friends and colleagues, especially the Rochdale community members, we can raise a huge amount of money to help these charities. I was born in Pakistan. I'm a son of a civil servant. I belong to a middle-class family. My father raised us and gave us a good education. But one thing, really, there is a lot of deprivation in Pakistan. And the same in South Asian countries. A lot of people living below the line of poverty. And I've seen a lot of families struggling to get food, never mind basic necessities. But we all live in this country in a welfare state. But there's still a lot of poverty and deprivation that exists in our communities. But it is our duty and responsibility to work for those who really need our help in difficult time. Just imagine you work hard, you earn money, you live a very comfortable life. But believe me, this is not your real happiness. You help someone, you dedicate yourself with a good cause, you get acknowledgement from someone with a simple word of thank you. That is real happiness that you feel. There's an old saying, the charity begins at home. So I will start for myself and Mayoress. I pledge £1,000 from my personal account today to my mayoral charity for next 12 months. So it is a time for good work for all our Rochdale Borough Councils, but we need some help especially for our religious leaders, especially Rochdale Council of Mosque is always helpful for Mayor's charity, and I'm delighted the representative of Rochdale Council of Mosques are here, so I will request them to work for us through our campaign to raise money for good causes. And I will go to all mosques, churches, and all places of worship to request all religious leaders to give us a help. This is our duty and responsibility. In the meantime, this is my privilege to stand here as a mayor of Rochdale. And I can assure you, I will work for everybody. I'm going to be a mayor of Rochdale for everyone, for all communities. And I hope all my brothers, sisters, colleagues will help me and guide me and to raise some good money, especially for good causes. Looking forward to working with you all in coming months. God bless all of us, reward you for your generosity. Thank you.
The Chief Executive will now present the Past Mayor's Medallion to Councillor Sheerin. I will now ask Councillor O'Neill to formally thank Councillor Sheerin for his valued service to the Borough of Rochdale.
So, Mr Mayor, distinguished guests, Members of Parliament, and ladies and gentlemen, it's really a vote of thanks to Billy, the Mayor, for the last 2 years. So everything's in twos. You mentioned 2 buses earlier. 2 years, 2 COVID injections, and I think there's 2 Billys because it seems to be everywhere. you go with him one day, and you think you've been on the event with him, and then you look on Facebook or whatever, and he's been somewhere else at the same time. He has been really, really busy. And I did see him yesterday. He disappeared again. He's there for 1 minute, and off he goes doing something else. So I did ask him, I did get a chance. I said, are you going to have 2 plaques? But for those of you who don't know, in the chamber, in the town hall chamber, after the mayor's had his year, they're allowed to put a coat of arms on the wall. So I said, have you had two plaques? And I think he was pulling the leg. He said, well, actually it's a reversible one. You start the first year and turn it over and got the second year. So I'd like to see that when the town hall is done. But of course, Team Billy does have 2 players, and it's been mentioned earlier in the proceeding about having somebody behind you, a good woman behind you, and that's his wife, Lee. So, Billy and Lee, I know Lee can't be here tonight, but we'd like to thank you on behalf of the people of Rochdale and the council and all the ladies and gentlemen present here. So as you return to the new normal, as it is, I hope you enjoy your well-earned rest from civic life, and thank you and good luck to you all. Thank you.
Councillor Sheerin will now make his retiring speech.
What I wanted to do is to just give you some insight in some of the events that I was involved in as the mayor, trying to make it a little bit light-hearted. Now, when I first became the mayor in 2019, the Volvo, which was the mayor's limousine, was in a sorry state. So the powers that be decided a new limousine was needed. I was right chuffed about this. I was then told because of climate change we would be getting an all-electric car. Wow! Could it possibly be an American Tesla with its sumptuous luxury? Well, I was a bit disappointed when Richard was asked to test drive the Kia Niro. Even more disappointed when I saw it was a SUV, sports utility vehicle, the kind of car that you have, you put the wife in the front and the kids in the back with the dog. But it was all electric, and we would be the very first local authority in Greater Manchester to have gone electric. Well, I thought I would still be able to wave at people like the Queen Mother did when she was on royal duty, until I discovered that the windows in the back of the car were smoked glass, and nobody could tell if I was in the car or not. But being a little mayor, in a fairly little car, which is all electric, gives me some sense of pride and humility. And it does tick all the climate changes boxes, doesn't it? However, come to think of it, so does a Tesla. Now, one of the most memorable events of my first year of the mayor was the visit of Dippy. The presentation event at Touchstones and in number 1 Riverside was truly amazing, and the volunteers and officers of Link for Life put so much into making the visit a wonderful and memorable experience. So I invited the other 9 mayors of the combined authorities on a civic visit, and they were all blown away with it. And after being blown away by Dippy, they were even more blown away by our beautiful town hall, which is rather unfortunate for our new mayor. He will not be able to have this wonderful facility. To be the mayor of Rochdale has been such a privilege and honour, and an experience the mayoress and I will never forget. We've met so many amazing people doing good works and going quietly about it, not making a fuss. These are the people that make our township so special. Sadly, we do not show our appreciation enough. For instance, the volunteers that made our vaccine venues run without any major issues. Those volunteers working in our food banks, delivering food parcels and soup kitchens and so on. The old adage of the salt of the earth springs to mind. I cannot finish without thanking those officers who've looked after the mayoress and I, and feel I must name them. Dorothy Johnson, who retired at the end of my first year, Richard Hall, who has kept me safe wherever I have visited, Nazam Suleiman, who covered for both Richard and Dorothy when they were not available, And last but not least, Morgan Taylor, who, although has only just become a member of the team, has been a rock for me. I'm sorry, the second year was really, I was like the figurehead of a ship in dock going nowhere. It was rather a sad event with all the lockdowns that we all had to go through and endure, but it was important that the wife, that's the mayoress, and myself obeyed all the rules. It would have been totally wrong if we'd have stepped out of line. And I do wish Councillor Rashid all the very best, and I know Rifat alongside him will be a massive asset, and I wish her all the very, very best. When I was a boy, and I shall finish on this, in the junior school at St Gabriel's, we were having a visit from the mayor, and I was asked to go and stand on Manchester Road and wait for the mayor's car coming round the corner and bring him into the full assembly. I saw the Rolls Royce coming round. They had a Rolls Royce in them days. Yeah. I saw the Rolls Royce coming down the corner, and I rushed into the school and I said, "The mayor's coming, the mayor's coming." Never did I think that man in the car one day would be me. Thank you. God bless you all.
The next order of business is to welcome the appointment of Councillor Ali Ahmed as Deputy Mayor. Councillor Iftikhar Ahmed and Councillor Wendy Cox will now stand and raise a hand to agree and welcome Councillor Ahmed as Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I formally propose that it's Councillor Ali Ahmed's appointment as a Deputy Mayor for Rochdale municipal year 2021 and 2022.
I'm delighted to second the nomination of Councillor Ali Ahmed as Deputy Mayor for the mayoral year 2021-22. Look forward to seeing him in his work. Thank you.
Steve Rumbelow and Councillor Ahmed will now read and sign the Declaration of Office.
I, Ali Ahmed, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
The Deputy Mayor's chain will now be placed upon Councillor Ali by the Mayor's officer, Nazam. The Mayor's officer will now place the Mayoress chain on Miss Rifat Rashid. The Mayor's officer will now place the Deputy Mayoress chain on Miss Begum. The Mayor's officer will now place the consort chain on Councillor Sultan Ali. All rise for His Worship for the Mayor of Rochdale, Please be seated. On behalf of our newly elected Mayor, I would like to thank all the guests for attending this evening, and a special thank you to the staff here at Middleton Arena for their assistance with this event. Please have a safe journey home. God bless.